As a prelude to the fifth ordinary session of the Cuban Parliament, legislators have started debates focused on the country's economic and social development. Over 2 days, parliamentarians gathered in 11 permanent committees will discuss more than 80 issues of impact for the Cuban society, such as the energy situation, food production, water supply, transportation, and health. On Monday, President Miguel Diaz-Canel attended the Economic Affairs Committee, where the recent performance of the economic plan was assessed. The new session of Parliament, to begin on Wednesday, July 16th, proposes a comprehensive evaluation of the government program aimed at correcting distortions and rebooting the national economy. And in an act celebrated in Yapacani, the President of the Senate of Bolivia and presidential candidate for the Popular Alliance, Andrónico Rodriguez, called for the unity of the country's entire left for the next general elections. This call for unity is directed specifically to the former Minister of Government, Eduardo del Castillo, who is a candidate for the ruling movement for socialism, and to the mayor of El Alto, Eva Copa, candidate of the movement for national renovation. The act of proclamation of Rodriguez in Yapacani was preceded by an attempted confrontation between his followers and the supporters of former President Evo Morales, although this did not escalate to a major incident. And the Panama National Naval Air Service informed that it is carrying out joint exercises with the United States Southern Command in preparation for threats to the security of the Panama Canal. According to a press release, the exercise called Panamax Alpha 2025 Phase 1 aims to reinforce preparedness for security threats to the Panama Canal and other strategic infrastructure of the country. As part of the bilateral cooperation between both nations, the activities are taking place from July 13th to the 18th in 3 bases located in the provinces of Panama, Colón, and Darién, and count with the participation of 3 helicopters of the Joint Task Force Bravo of the Southern Command. Welcome back. The United Nations Organization for Palestine Refugees warned that over 70,000 Palestinian children suffer from malnutrition in the Gaza Strip. UNRWA details that the shortage of food due to the Israeli blockade has increased the number of children with acute malnutrition as well as the risk of mortality. The United Nations Children's Fund reported in June more than 5,800 children with malnutrition in the Strip. In view of this, the international institutes demand the Israeli regime to end the blockade and allow the access of aid immediately and on a large scale. And in Israel, relatives and activists demonstrated on Sunday night in front of the Israeli Prime Minister's office demanding an agreement for the return of all hostages in Gaza. With photographs of the hostages and protest banners, demonstrators expressed that the overwhelming majority of the people of Israel want to reach an agreement that would guarantee the return of the hostages and an end to the genocide in Palestine. This series of demonstrations comes a week after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited Washington to discuss the agreement with the Trump administration. However, the emergence of a new sticking point over the deployment of Israeli troops during the truce raises public doubts about the viability of a new deal. Venezuela was crowned softball world champion for the first time after defeating New Zealand in the World Championship held in Canada. The match took place at Prime Minister's Park in Prince Albert. During the tournament, Venezuela, ranked number 5 in the world, faced a challenging opening round where it defeated New Zealand 7-2 on the last day to qualify for the Super Round with 2 wins and 1 loss in the opening round, thus obtaining a title that once again raises the name of Venezuela to the top of international sport. As a prelude to the fifth ordinary session of the Cuban Parliament, legislators have started debates focused on the country's economic and social development. Over 2 days, parliamentarians gathered in 11 permanent working committees will discuss more than 80 issues of impact for the Cuban society, such as the energy situation, food production,